Welcome to this week's edition of ChapChat. We're joined by Steve Gomez, the head coach of the Ladies Chaps. And Coach, 10 consecutive trips to the national championships in the NAIA. This will be the last one. Talk about your opponent as you're going to be facing Southern University of New Orleans and maybe one of those teams that nobody knows anything about.
That's a good point. I think they really are sort of an unknown quantity. Obviously, they're a talented team to have won their conference tournament. I've only lost 4 games on the year and played some good teams very close. So what we do know about them is they got one of the leading scorers in the country, April Perry, who can really create a lot of shots for herself, her teammates. So we're going to have to give her a lot of attention. They have some good size, and they are one of the better defensive teams even in the country. So a very well-rounded team is going to be a handful, like anybody would be to start the national tournament.
Talk about the pressures, because this is the last trip. Of the 9 previous trips, you've gotten to the championship game once. You made it to the Fab Four twice. But since it's the last time, how do you make sure there is no pressure on the girls, but you do want them to play with some urgency?
Well, hopefully they just have set high goals from the start of the year and just take a day at a time. And those girls have had good perspective all year long. When we've come against a loss, they've handled it well. When they've had success, they've handled it well. And so hopefully just not put too much on any given situation. A team like the conference tournament, we're able to win it for the first time. It was great, but I don't feel like they overpressured themselves. They just, as long as they're playing together, having fun, if we'll just keep the fun in the game, the enjoyment level, and not let stress or those outside pressures infect us or affect us in negative ways, we'll be in good shape.
Talk about the injury status of the team. You're not going to be able to have Emily Adkins for the remainder of the season. Nicole Hampton, she's available, maybe not 100%, maybe she could be 100% for that first game. But talk about how the injury bug changes anything on this team.
Well, thankfully they're such a unified group. They sort of rallied around Emily, and on that championship game sort of were inspired by her team focus, and she was such an encouragement. So she's still going to be a very important part of our game, even though it may not be performance on the court, but on the bench and the locker room and the hotel is going to be really big. And then Nicole, we're sort of thankful we got a Thursday game as opposed to a Wednesday game. It gives her more time to heal, and we expect her to be just full speed ready to go by the time the tournament starts.
Coach, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Ladies Chaps heading to the Bluegrass State. Let's take a look at the schedule, and on the flip side, we have a big announcement to make in the world of LCU athletics.
So the LCU women's basketball team are currently in Frankfort, Kentucky, preparing for their first game of the NAIA National Tournament. They will be playing on Thursday, March 14th, due to a high seed against the Southern University at New Orleans in the Frankfort Convention Center at 3:30 p.m. Central Time.
All right, well, the big news in the world of LCU athletics is this guy. Matt Barnes is the new head coach of LCU men's soccer. And Coach, welcome to Lubbock. Welcome to the staff of Lubbock Christian University. What brought you here? What made you make the move from Embry-Riddle University over in Prescott, Arizona, to come here to Lubbock, Texas?
Well, a couple things. First of all, the athletic director, Paul Hayes, really did a good job of selling me on the university and where they want to go with the men's soccer program and just what the university's all about in general. So he really painted a really good picture for me, and I felt like I'd fit in really well here. And I like the fact that they're making the transition from NAIA to Division II. So I've been coaching at an NAIA school, and I have some good experience at a Division II school in Cal State Bakersfield when I was there. So I feel real comfortable in taking a position with that move happening.
Cliff Notes version, playing career and then coaching career.
Playing career, played at Judson University in Chicago, and then went on from there, played a short stint with the Rockford Raptors in the old USISL. Then moved on to do some coaching in high school in Cal State Bakersfield when they were Division II, won a national championship there in 1997. From there, I directed a big youth club in Bakersfield, California, and then kind of made the transition back into college. I'd really missed the college game and felt like that's kind of where my heart was, so I just got back into it.
You led Embry-Riddle to some success and to the NAIA National Championship, to the opening round last season. Was able to get that program ranked. I know you'd like to do the same here. What were some of the things that made Embry-Riddle successful that you'd like to bring here and make the Chaps successful?
I think just the whole culture of the program. You know, the guys just needed to learn how to compete every day, how to change some of their training habits, and really just try to bring more of a professional environment to the Embry-Riddle team. And And I'll say again, it's a great group, great university over there. I had a very good experience there, but we just had to come in and change the culture, and I feel like it's going to be a similar deal here.
Favorite soccer team?
Man United.
Favorite player?
Old school, John Barnes.
He went old school. I think it's because of the name. Well, Matt Barnes, he's the new head coach of the Chaps men's soccer program. Coach, thanks for joining us, and best of luck getting this program in transition to Division II status, because when you guys play, you will be playing in the Heartland Conference. So glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Appreciate it, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
That's Matt Barnes, the new head coach of LCU men's soccer.
The LCU men's baseball team just finished a 4-game series against Mid-America Christian University on March 7th and 8th. The LCU team swept MacU 4-0, and they had huge wins both days with a 17-0 victory and 16-6 victory. The baseball team will be playing a series of games over the next few days of spring break out in Tucson, Arizona. As for the Ladies Chaps softball team, they are already in Tucson and coming off of a couple of wins against Briarcliff University, Dickinson State University, and beating Missouri Valley College off of the run rule 15-6. They will be playing in Tucson throughout the rest of spring break, just like the LCU baseball team. Thanks for tuning in for this edition of ChapChat. Stay tuned to the LCU Athletics YouTube channel to get updates during spring break about the baseball and softball games going on and the Ladies Chaps basketball team in the NAIA National Tournament.